How's it going, guys? It's Brian here. Um, just want to talk to you guys quickly about an announcement that I need to make. I'm doing this over video because it's better to basically for me to just explain where I'm coming from than to write it into a status because I can't really explain it in written words what I want to say. But it's bad news and it's about me leaving the band. Um, so I know it might come as a joke to some because I've done this before 4 years ago when I left the band for a month. But that was a silly thing I did, and this is the real deal. This is something I've been thinking about for quite a few months, and it's just built up, and it's gotten to a point now where I need to make a decision. So sadly, it really is going to be the end of my time in facing the gallows after 10 years. Um, but I really thought it'd be nice for me to just have a discussion with you guys. So, if you don't want to watch this or you find it's too long winded or anything, or you want to drop me some hate in the comments, that's cool. But for those of you that actually want to know what's been going on, I'd much rather give you a reason and an understanding than for me to just write some paragraph on Facebook. We always see this with bands. You see a status update of a band member leaving, and they'll say like musical indifferences or parted ways or even when it happens when there's beef, you never really know the ins and outs. So I actually just wanted to give those ins and outs for a change. For those who actually want to know, I think they deserve it. And for people that want to know, but just for starters, the band and me, we are 100% awesome. We're still friends. Everything's going to be great. Um, and it's not musical either. So it's a purely me thing. Um, so yeah. So I've written some pointers. Just quickly, I want to go over a few of them just so you know exactly what led me to my decision. So for starters, my health is a big one. I was basically having problems swallowing in the beginning of the year, and it got worse over time. And then I went to an ENT, ended up in hospital. They ended up going down my throat. They ended up nearly having to remove a polyp. Well, they thought it was a polyp, but it ended up being like a thing of acid reflux, which they drained. Luckily, they didn't have to cut, but the doctor said there's a nodule forming on my vocal cords and vocal alignment damage. And basically, he said I need long vocal rest. And this was like just before tour. So he said I need to basically, if I do vocals for a week, I have to rest for 2 weeks. And I said to him, look, that's impossible. We just released an album, we have to go on tour. So I said to my band, I said to the rest of the guys, I'm gonna start coming to practice, just so I can rest. I know the songs, then it gives me that kind of week to rest. Went on tour, got sick after tour. Obviously, my immune system from everything, my body was just shutting down. So I got sick after that, and then I guess it affected my mind as well. Um, and then I got sick again after the next tour. So it basically really started affecting everything around me. My work, um, my health, my mental health, because I was at a point where I was just always thinking to myself, like, can I continue this? What happens if I get a nodule or something like that, or is it right for me? So yeah, so basically I really need to get my health back into shape. And I need some rest, some vocal rest, but like long-winded. And the band can't stop because of that. We can't go on a hiatus because of that, because we took so long to record the album and release the album. And last year we played like 3 shows, so the band needs to keep going if to play the shows for the album. So I don't expect them to stop. So that's a big one. The second one is my career. Now I've been working really hard, focusing on my work and everything, and the result of that, you could say, is the band took a back burner, like big time. I think everything in terms of my drive, my passion, and everything just really dropped, and no one's at fault for that. I still love music and metal, and I listen to it and stuff like that, but it stopped being a priority, stopped being a number one priority for me. Um, my wife and myself, we just bought a house. They're moving to the end of the year, and we're working really hard towards that. So for me, that's my biggest goal, you know. So I'm trying to work hard and stuff like that, and doing band stuff, you know. As shitty as it sounds, it's become more of an inconvenience in my life. That's the honest truth. Um, Again, I'd much rather be honest and open with you guys. Um, yeah, so the band did take a back burner in that regard. Um, and thinking of the band, where it wants to go, like we've all spoken about this before, you know, we want to try and book some overseas tours and get the band out there because that's the next step, you know, because otherwise, why we keep doing this over and over and over in this country, you know, if we're not going to try and push the boundaries. But the reality is, if we land some cool tours overseas and stuff like that, you know, it's a couple of weeks, you come back, you go over a couple of weeks, you come back or whatever. Like look at Valdivia, like things like that, you know. Um, but the reality is, I have too much going for myself now to actually just drop that to go. You know, I'm gonna have my house, I got my car to pay for, I've got my job, you know, and I think it's just the way I put it is it's a little too late. Like I'm 32 years old. If I was 21, 22, 23, whatever, 25, still studying, cool, drop it, let's go. Let's like take the world by its neck, you know. But now it's just like I, I can't risk it. I don't want to risk it, you know, unfortunately. So, and that being said, you know, if that's the goal of the band, I'm not going to be on board 100%. And unfortunately, I haven't been on board 100%. Um, and if I'm not going to, then is there really a point? You know, then I'm just letting everyone else in the band down because I'm not giving it my all. So that was another big one. Yeah, but that's basically it, guys. Like I'm just at a point in my life where everything else right now is priority. It needs a priority, you know, over music. Unfortunately, and I had to make the decision. And I'm like, I'm sure there might be other guys out there that are around my age, maybe still in bands, they're still going, that have either done this, made this decision, or contemplated this decision. So if you're watching this and you're one of those guys and you can relate, then yeah, it's a cuck one, but it's a hard decision. And basically, like I said to the guys, if I continue doing this for 2 3 years, it's still going to be shit at the end of the day. I'm still going to have to make this decision, you know, unless the band stops, I'll still have to make a decision. So it's not going to change. So that's why I need to make it now, especially because of where my hop is. So yeah, so that's that. So I'm sorry if folks get bleak. If folks think it's funny, let me know in the comments. But look, the band, the rest of the guys, they still think they still want to go, they still want to push, and that's awesome. You know, like I think that's cool for them. So they're obviously going to be looking for a new dude. So get in touch if you think you got what it takes. Obviously they'll release all that kind of stuff around finding that kind of guy, but just so you know, so long. And then yeah, the last thing I just want to talk about quickly is just say thank you. Thanks to everyone that has been there for me. I mean, 10 flipping years. I got a dolphin tattooed on me with rain chase with sunglasses to represent 10 years ago, gold chain. And that's awesome. Also a milestone for me. My dad, thanks dad for supporting me for all these years. I mean, you should support me for another 10 years. And I know it's probably going to be the hardest for you, but I know you also believe in me and my decisions. And then, yeah, everyone else out there that has supported the band, um, yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for being my friend basically and coming out to the shows and rocking along and going crazy. And we've had some crazy memories and experiences. For always catching me when I stage dive and did stupid things or said stupid things online. Thank you for having my back. or giving me shit about it, because I needed it. But thank you very much. So basically, what's going to happen now is Fit for a King this weekend, Friday, Arcade Empire, and Saturday at Sundowners. If you don't get to get it, because those are probably, I would say yes, are going to be my last shows. So if you want to come to the show one last time and throw zap signs at me, then this is the weekend. Thanks, guys. Peace out.